Welcome. Welcome to the Royal Gypsy Hood. My name is Rafa. Coming to you live center stage. Here to do a tarot reading for the Libra full moon that is up tonight, and for the spring equinox, and for the Aries season. Happy Aries season to you. I'm going to start off with the tarot reading, and then I'm going to take a look at the chart, and I will see what happens. I will also be getting into essential oils for the Libra full moon, potentially also for Aries. I know one oil that they have in common is black pepper. And we will go through some of the affirmations. Wow. Cards keep jumping. I'm not pulling any of them out though. All right, Holy Spirit, I just thank you for guidance, wisdom, understanding, clarity, a message. And here we go. Of course, the Emperor comes up. Happy Aries season to you. I'm going to do this one specifically for Aries season. So Holy Spirit, please give us a word, a message for this Aries season. Who is the Emperor? Who is the Emperor? What is his role? What is his title? What is his superpower? What is his authority? What is his reputation? We have the Ten of Cups in reverse, which is not ironic. We carry through with Mars in this card, and also Pisces, which is in retrograde. And, you know, in reverse, retrograde, baby. Mercury in Pisces, retrograde. The Two of Swords. Good God Almighty. And what does that represent? It is in reverse. What does it represent? The moon in Libra. Okay. Okay. All right. So Holy Spirit, I just ask for clarification. Show us who we are. Aries is all about the I am. The Six of Cups. That deals with childhood. Childhood nostalgias. Bonds, emotional connections that we have to our past. Show us how to think. The King of Wands is in reverse. Okay, that carries through that fire energy of Aries. And it's in reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles comes with, underneath, the Two of Swords. All right. Let me make sure that these are all in here, right? An oracle for each. I got the Solitude card in reverse. but I picked it in a way that I didn't like it. I meant to have the cards this way. So we're going to keep that in mind. Ghostlands. The Solitude card pretty much goes with that. Underneath the Nostalgia card, the Talisman. Underneath the Ten of Cups and the King of Wands, both in reverse. And then we have the Sacred Pool. I don't know. When I pull these cards, I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. You know, I guess if you're in tune with what's happening and what's going on inside of you, it's just repetitive because we're still there. I am magic under the Emperor. I am unstoppable under the Talisman and the Ten of Cups reverse. I am humble in reverse. Okay.
Held up in the city for a while due to the rain.
The Wisdom card.
So as soon as it stops raining, you'll leave.
Manipulation goes along with that Six of Cups. It's in reverse.
I'll be able to stay here forever.
That is an interesting row of cards right there. Of course, Aries comes up again. The Fire Prince in reverse. Optimism and aggression, okay, is in reverse. Have you been feeling bursts of anger and volatile energy? I have. Yesterday especially. Just in the morning. The Hungry Ghost in reverse. Obsession, scarcity, consciousness, and attachments. All right. Okay, so the first row, we have the Emperor with the Six of Cups, with the Ghostlands, with manipulation, with magic, so here's the question. Are you the one being manipulated or are you the manipulator? Scorpio is deep, dark magic. Scorpio is you know, an alchemist of all alchemists. Scorpio has this authority, has this charge, right, over their lives to transmute, to, as I spoke about in the last video, bring form to the darkness and bring it to light. Scorpio is magical, baby. Now, the question again, are you solid in your identity? Are you manipulating people to your will? Are you being manipulated to the will of somebody else who is very strong-willed? Are you holding on to attachments of somebody who you have a nostalgic feeling toward? Because right now it's time to let that go. It's Aries season and it's spring and it's time to blossom and it's time to grow and it's time to get out of that darkness. It's time to stop you know, to let go of the ghosts that haunt us. It's time to let go of that old identity that used to be you, but it's not you anymore. It's time to gain new information regarding who you are, right? It's time to release any insecurities that keep us dependent upon those old attachments that we once had. And I love how out of the actual tarot cards, not the oracle ones, this card, the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles, are the only two that are upright. So with Mercury still being retrograde in Pisces, okay, here we go to the second row. We have Pisces, the 10 of Cups in reverse. We have the King of Wands in reverse. We have aggression in reverse. We have the Talisman in reverse, okay? Well, I just want you to know that you are unstoppable. Now here's the question for what it is that we are procuring, what it is that we are in the midst of manifesting. Is it time to stop in your tracks and redirect? It's definitely not time to move forward yet. We are still investigating. We are investigating ourselves. We are investigating who we are. We are investigating what it is that Spirit wants of us. We are we are retracing the paths of our imaginations. Okay, this is something I wanted to talk about actually when it comes to Mercury retrograde in Pisces, right? We're blending the energy of Mercury, which is, you know, your thought patterns, and it's, you know, your belief systems for sure, especially, you know, we think of Sagittarius as your beliefs, you know, we think of Pisces for sure as beliefs, one being, you know, the subconscious beliefs, the other one being, you know, what you proclaim to the world, what you're able to express and teach. And then Mercury breaks it down into the details of your thought process of why you believe that, right? And so sometimes when we blend the imaginations and the, you know, illusions and the fantasies, and whether they could be good fantasies or bad fantasies, you know what I mean? They could be the type of thoughts and beliefs and details based upon our experiences too, though, right? That we have retraced, you know, in loops, right? And how many, you know, for one scenario, okay, pick one scenario, like one choice that you might have. Like if you connect with this one person, if you go on a date with this one guy, if you end up having feelings for this person, if you decide to go this route with a job or career or that route with a job or career, what are the thoughts and imaginations that we create regarding the choices that we are preparing to make, right? And do they paralyze us? Do we run wild with these imaginations down like, you know, these dark alleys, you know, that keep us from really following the straight and narrow path, you know? And a lot of these thoughts, what we might be missing out on, you know, if I don't date this person, will I be missing out? You know, will I regret it later? You know, so we do these things, we make our choices based on these imaginations, right? Based on our, you know, we're, like I said, we're blending this like fast moving planet, the thought processes that we have. Like how many thousands of thoughts do we have in a day? And we are blending them with our imaginations, it's mixing information based upon our feelings. And no matter which direction we go, whether we indulge in the darkness, whether we indulge in the manipulations, whether we indulge in our old attachments, whether we indulge in our fears, whether we indulge in our fantasies, whether we are whimsical and we, are lacking in solid information, and if we are ideal and not realistic, idealistic and not realistic, all of these extremes, right, can cause problems in one direction or another. I want you to understand that you are unstoppable, whether you take this route or you take this route. And it's important for you to just take a deep breath and decide, what is your wish? Pisces, definitely, this card represents our greatest wishes imaginable. So instead of going in circles around these imaginations, right, boil it down to, who am I really? And what is my true wish? With that being said, the talisman, hey, it's time to work our magic for real. During this full moon and as, spring is springing and everything is blooming, there is most definitely magic in the air, and we need to take advantage of this energy to the absolute fullest. What do you have planned for tonight? We definitely want to include fire into our rituals. We definitely want to include something tangible that we can hold that will be a representation of our true wish, right? The talisman. The next row is the Two of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles. Hey, if anybody has broken any contracts with you, or if you're in the midst of trying to negotiate anything, make sure that you maybe have a lawyer look over it if it's that serious. Make sure that you review and re-review, not in a sense of getting caught up in the details, but in a sense of, hey, take your time to make this decision and don't do it yet, okay? Don't do it before Mercury goes direct. Right now is the time simply to delve into the I am that I am, so that based on our knowing and understanding of our power and authority and our identity, we are able to make the right choices, the spirit-led choices, not the illusionary, not choices based on our illusions, but the spirit-led choice based on who I am, who Creator says that I am, who Creator made me to be. And with that, if you take your time, right? Prosperity is guaranteed. The Queen of Pentacles is, she's the queen, baby. She's realistic. We're bringing Virgo into the picture. She is, what is the word I'm looking for? It starts with a P. Not progressive, but what is that word that methodical, but that's not the word I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Step by step by step. Take the time to write things down. Take the time to write your steps down, your ideas down, your thoughts and feelings, write them down. And with that, it's time to release the attachments. It's time to create some magic with this talisman of your choice. You could pick anything, really. Anything that you infuse your energy and your intention into, whether it be a gemstone, a bracelet, a necklace, a piece of paper that you've written on, something special. What is the representation that you will bring into this picture to infuse with your magic, with your intentions, under this new clarity and understanding of, hey, I am not who I was last year or the year before or the year before that, right? Let me see something. Okay. And sacred pool. So it's really not time to move forward too quickly right now. It's really not, because with it, we are also dealing with Aries, Chiron and Aries. I don't know if it's still at 0 degrees or it's moved to 1 or what. I'll have to look that up in a second. But that deals with the wounds of our ego and the wounds of our identity. And we'll be dealing with that for the next 7 years. Doesn't that sound like fun? So Aries and Mars, you know, is our survival instinct. You know, it's not only birth, but it's death. You know, this is the death of the winter. This is the death of the old, dry, cold me. And by dwelling in your sacred pool, by dwelling in your meditations, by really focusing on your wishes, you know, that are based upon your identity, what you wish, your ultimate wish. Dwelling in that sacred pool will definitely help to bring us some humility as we deal with circumstances that irk our nerves, that cause us to feel defensive, that make us angry. I know I did it this morning. And here is where this card comes in, right? That's scorpionic manipulation. I have this thing when it comes to men that like did something fucked up to me. That I like to fuck with their minds, right? That's a form of like psychological manipulation, like terroristic. So this is a reminder to me, hey, I don't want to keep manifesting those situations and those types of people, right? Whatever path I choose, I'll be unstoppable, you know? So be very careful about how you move forward, you know? Don't be attached to those wounds. Release attachment to that anger. Release the attachment to that injustice that happened to you. I know it's not right. The motherfucker deserves to get his dick cut off. But what does Libra represent? Balance, justice, beauty, creativity, right? And matter of fact, let's go to the angels, right? Because I looked up the angel for the sign of Libra, and one of them is Archangel Jophiel, stands for inner wisdom and beauty. The oils for that angel are, so I would take this as, if you are invoking the angel, Archangel Raphael, you know, choose the oils, the scents that are pleasing to him, to them, to the ancestors, whoever it is that you call upon. Grapefruit, jasmine, neroli, and sweet marjoram. I'm getting it from this book here. Aromatherapy, essential guide to aromatherapy and vibrational healing. Now, the other angel, which I could do a little more research, I didn't really read much upon it. The angel Zuriel, which was not listed in that book, and Archangel Jophiel rule over the sign of Libra. So these are definitely two angels that is a good idea to call upon them with some citrus scents, and even like some myrrh, cedarwood, something grounding, right? Because we have the air, but we have balance, and so we want to have, the grounding happen. These angels bring the attributes of foresight. Okay, so this is what we are asking for right now. This is what we seek. Not to move too quickly, but we seek foresight and understanding that is rooted in beauty and creativity. Not in worrying, not in panic, not in paranoia, not in depression, like, what is the answer? What is the answer? You know what I mean? Like, we do that a lot. But when we actually dwell in that spirit of Libra, that spirit of beauty and creativity, we're able to be at peace. We're able to be like air, lighthearted, like Ma'at. And we are given naturally this foresight and this understanding that we need. Angel Zuriel is said to be divine justice and known as the angel of salvation. Okay, where does my help come from? The angel seeks out justice in life and to produce harmony and balance to all things. Cool. I want to look up one of these things, or one of these articles. That was from zodiacrealm7.wordpress.com. It's like the first thing that comes up when you Google what is the angel for Libra. I'm not clicking on that link. I'm going to look up this one. Libra horoscope and the angel Jophiel. Okay. And this one that I'm looking up is from guardianangelreading.com. Okay, let's see. I don't want to see the history of Libra. Let's see. Archangel Jophiel is the guardian angel of Libras. Different cultures know him or her by a wide array of names, such as God's watchman, God's spy, and the divine beauty or beauty of God. Art often portrays her in a female form. For the purposes of this article, we will refer to her as such. She is the archangel of divine wisdom and understanding. Her divine beauty is not only physical, but reflects the essence of her soul, your heart, Is your heart lighter than a feather? You know, for my ritual tonight, I will be writing with a feather dipped in my own blood, you know, creating my own sigil and writing my intentions down, you know, and what I'm releasing myself. So feathers are, a feather could be your talisman. She always shares this beauty and joy with others and is a trait that is visible in the horoscope of Libra. The Archangel Jophiel uses her divine knowledge to help her help her wards connect the dots within themselves. This means that when there is a confusion or a feeling of being lost, she will help guide you. Not by telling you how to, but by helping you solve the problem yourself. I love that. Because that's one thing that happens when it comes to even readers. Like, that subject came up today. People always want to be told what to do. They want to know, they want to be told what the answer is. It's like, hey, you know what? We can help guide you, but you need to dig deep inside, you know, otherwise you're going to keep doing the same things. And you won't really accept you know, the response anyways, because you're always going to be questioning in your mind because there's no peace within. So praying to Archangel Jophiel. As with many aspects of life, you will often find guides on the internet complaining to have the one true way of doing something. Never trust those people. This is the same when it comes to Archangel Jophiel prayer. Let's see what they say, though. You should know that the Archangel Jophiel prayer is more effective if you think of the color yellow, as this is the color she operates within. Okay, that makes sense. Simply reach out to the Archangel with understanding. With your mind. Sorry, reach out to her with your mind, your heart, or through your words. Perhaps you need help understanding something or overcoming a problem. Whether it is simply whatever it is, sorry, simply call out to her and let her into your soul so that she can guide you. Remember, through Archangel Jophiel prayer, you will receive guidance. She won't just give you the answer. She'll guide you to your own solutions. In many ways, this is better, as you will gain confidence, the emperor, that you will know who you are, and therefore you will not have to question the direction there you are going, you know, or the path that you belong on, or the territory in which you reign over. Okay. And yeah, okay, I finished that. So I want to look up, especially because it's not showing up in my book, I want to look up the angel Zuriel. This is coming from angelarium.com, the Encyclopedia of Angels. Nice. Zuriel, the regulator. Okay. All things have opposing forces. The rotation of the celestial bodies provide a macrocosm of our own swirling internal relationships. Zuriel is the regulator of these forces, weighing their value and attempting to find balance. Here we go. Another one. drstanley.com. Dominion. the angel who holds dominion over the sun sign of Libra, he encourages us to be more harmonious, sociable, and appreciative of beauty. The guidance is the angel of harmony. So when we can be humble, we can harmonize better. When we're not manipulative, we can harmonize better. Things come our way as we desire, not as we force them. And a sample prayer, angel of harmony. Sometimes as I walk through my day, I feel less than I could. I know I should have more confidence than that because I am, after all, a child of God and made in his imagination. Please influence me to embrace my spiritual and physical beauty, harmony, and love. So I'll leave it at that. When it comes to the angels, what's ironic is that I did pick like a clove oil. So I had that citrusy kind of scent, already that I was gravitating toward. I'm going to go ahead and I have a Libra oil. If anybody would like to order it from me, it's an essential oil roller bottle blend. And it has a combination of these oils, lavender, and each of these oils has a affirmation to it. Lavender represents sweet transformation. Vetiver represents tranquility and peace. And again, it's grounding. Myrrh is grounding, to stabilize and preserve. Frankincense represents the wise ones. Spikenard is the feminine Christ. Juniper berry for detoxification, okay, the releasing of manipulation, the releasing of attachments, of scarcity consciousness, of obsessions. Roman chamomile, go with the flow, and then black pepper to take action, okay? Seemingly contradictory, but taking action within the flow, within the flow of the beautiful lines that are being created around you, not like hopping all over the place without clarity, but just doing things just to do things, and then cinnamon, the spice of life, okay, just to keep us enthusiastic, energized, and optimistic, about what is to come. So do I want to look up these, or is it getting too long here? I might just want to get to the astrology. I think I do. Well, let's see. Oh no, where did it go? Where do we go? I closed my book. I closed my notes. That's okay. I'll find it. Here we go. I want to start with Roman chamomile. This oil is also very good for Leos and just fire signs in general, to like calm, wusa, when we're feeling like all we want to do is like get moving and we're feeling restless and we want to take action. So here is the chamomile, just passed it, affirmation, which is particularly good for Pisces, and it's opposite Virgo. So Mercury in general being represented there with Pisces retrograde, and then also it's good for Chiron. So we're incorporating that Aries energy in here with Chiron being in Aries. It's representative of Neptune, the sun, and Venus as well. So Libra is incorporated there with Venus, and so is the sun in Aries. The numbers Lucky numbers 7, 11, baby, 22, and 33. Chamomile is a water element. So here's the affirmation. I am calm. I am at peace. I am content. I go with the ever-changing flow of life willingly and joyfully. I breathe deeply, and oxygen replenishes my soul. I feel protected. Therefore, I don't have to act or react in a survival type of instinct because by nature, I feel protected. I feel protected by the angels that watch over me. I feel protected by, the angel of justice who will ensure that justice happens. So karma is not in your hands. Yeah, and then black pepper. Oops. Look up B for black, not P for pepper. Oh, I guess it is under pepper. Oh, I don't have an affirmation for that. I should create one. That's okay. Let's see. Am I feeling led to look up any one of those other ones? The feminine Christ. Most definitely. Spike Nerd. There it is. Neptune is represented here. Again, Virgo and Pisces and Venus. So it's all encompassing. And then we have the earth element. The affirmation is I am love. I align my consciousness with gentleness, compassion, and goodwill toward all. My focus is on kindness. I make it my goal and intention to have compassion and tolerance and to live love. I am aligned with the healing powers of inner peace and empathy. I am able to help others with vibrating love through my presence, words, and actions. I make my goals and intention to have compassion and tolerance and to live love. Sometimes, again, when we are really caught up in asserting ourselves, because you do have to have those boundaries and, asserting your identity and who you are and what your role is and who do you think you are, it's really difficult to practice that compassion. But again, when it's a higher vibration, when we're solid in our identity, we don't have to be moved by somebody even challenging or testing us. We can still assert with ourselves with compassion and with love. I know for me, I have Uranus in first house, so I'm sharp. I'm sharp with the tongue. I'm quick to shock a motherfucker. And that's just the truth, and that's why I love tarot, because even when I go down my regular old thought patterns, and attachments to old ways of feeling, and those ghosts of the past start to haunt me, it helps to bring me back to center, right? Back into balance, to remember. So I don't go down a spiral of that lower vibration. So anyway, with that being said, let me take a look Stop. Can I get that out of there? There we go. Let me take a look at the astrology, at the actual chart for today. PlanetWatcher.com. According to this, March 20th, 1:08 p.m. Universal Time. The moon is still in Libra. I mean, in Virgo, 25 degrees. So I am going to go ahead a few hours more and get that to 0 degrees, because the sun in Aries will be, or is at 0 degrees. Go back. And that's when they're exactly opposite, when they're both on the same degree. Okay. So that is 9:08 p.m. Yep. So that would be like 6 p.m. Central Standard Time that the moon officially goes into Libra. So here's one thing I really want to talk about that came up yesterday. Okay. And it's the situation that two instances came up that I was like, man, this is some real Libra shit right here. So the opposites, right? The sun, vitality, all in your, highlighting your identity, but also Chiron, highlighting Chiron. And what degree? Is it at 1 yet, or is that at 0 degrees too? No, Chiron is at 1 degrees. So what I encountered, somebody that I know of, an acquaintance who I like her enough, but never had a desire to get too close because I saw some dysfunctions there too. And but no judgment, and yeah, so shit hits the fan with their partner, and all of a sudden this person thinks that people that barely know her should be choosing sides. I don't choose up for people I don't know. I mean, if you're like, somebody that I've been riding with, for a while, we're close like that, then of course, because I have more information, about who you really are. There's some kind of a bond that's been formed there based on principles, and let's leave it at that. So anyway, this person thought that I should be choosing up one way or another. And I was like, I'm not getting involved in your relationship shit. And, I'm not in this relationship. I'm an individual here. I'm an Aries singular. I'm not a double, two in Libra, representing relationships. So I had to identify myself as autonomous, because that's not my mess to jump into, I mean, seriously. And so then the next thing that happened, and I found it humorous, right? And at the same time, it's really not, it's really sad, but humorous in the way of like the audacity, right? So anyway, then the next situation came up where somebody posts something about relationships and wanting to be feminine, and not identifying as an independent woman anymore, right? And I'm all for that, and at the same time, I made a comment. I was actually agreeing with this person because the North Node is in Cancer, and Cancer is all about delving into that feminine energy, right? And so and then I made reference to interdependence versus, I was like, Pretty much, yeah. North Node is in definitely North Node is in Cancer, you know, but what is the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn. And so I was saying that although dependency, never. Interdependence, yes, right? And so that's what I want to talk about, this balance, right? Of when shit does not, somebody else's shit does not belong to you, okay? And also when I feel like, and I was sensing that this particular individual was feeling broken and weak by having to be, you know, strong all of the time. And, you know, as a woman having to operate in ways that, you know, are more natural for men to operate in, you know, as far as provision and all of these other things. We live in a different society, you know, things aren't the same anymore. And it's really, you know, all about balance. And I want to encourage people that, you know, even as you walk and you delve into your femininity, it's a beautiful thing. Make magic, right? But make sure that you don't flip flop, you know, from one thing, from one way of thinking to the other, because you're just setting yourself up for failure and for disappointment, right? So it's good to know that you're, you know, you have this strength, you have your autonomy, you have this independence, and it's also good to know, excuse me, what your role is, you know, within a relationship, what the perfect balance of yin and yang is between you and your partnership, you know. And at the same time, it's important that as you find your roles within this yin and yang, you know, of your partnership, this flow, this harmony, that you're not allowing society, you're not allowing your partner, you're not allowing, like, you know, the historical roles, you know, to dictate to you what is your place, what is your role. Make sure that you are very solid in your identity, in your strengths, in your gifts, and then, you know, you're able to lean back when it comes to the things that are not your strengths. But for instance, to say, you know, for, let's go old school, women can't speak in public, you know, women can't wear the pants, or, you know, be seen as a leader, or, you know, that's some bullshit. We know that, you know. So it's important that we don't allow, and that is why women have fought for our independence and for our rights, right, for so long. And at the same time, not long enough. It's important not to lose those principles, right, as you become humble in this partnership and in relation to other people. So when I wanted to talk shit to that person that thought that I should choose up, you know what I'm saying? What is Libra? The balance is you got to choose up. No, bitch, I sit. I'm right here in the center. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking both ways, like taking notes in the back of my head, you know, and I'm not going to pass judgment until I actually, you know, or it's not my place to pass judgment at all. But, you know, it's just waiting for things to unravel, and they did. And they did. So there was that manipulation that was trying to occur there. And it's important, you know, in those situations, just because we like someone, you know, if you're not solid in your place and your role, you will be manipulated out of it, you know, and you will be dragged into some shit that does not belong to you, you know. If you want to be, you know, bask in your femininity, right, because you're so tired of, you know, having to do, you know, play this, you know, having to walk in your masculinity as a woman, you know, that's all good and dandy. But be careful that you're not flip-flopping from one to the other. Stand right there in the middle. Learn, look, and remember, you know, where you came from and where you're going, you know. and honor your autonomy. Do not get lost, you know, when it comes to your friendships, you know, your partnerships with lovers, business situations where you're signing contracts, you know, events, you know, even that you might be maybe throwing an event with somebody or going to an event, you know, and it's like, what is your role? What is your role there based upon your identity, you know, based upon your domain, not somebody else's, and based upon your ultimate true wish that is rooted in that identity and in your domain. Okay, so again, going back to the chart, that was just talking about the opposition really with the sun and the moon, you know. Where is Libra in your chart? Where is Aries in your chart? And that will help you to know and understand in what areas of your life that this comes up. You know, these energies are playing themselves out. Ooh, you got to watch my last video. Because now Mars is at 23 degrees in Taurus, and I already talked about that, and I don't really want to beat a dead horse with that. But we have the North Node in Cancer at 24 degrees, and we have Mars in Taurus at 23 degrees, and it's forming a yod pointing at Jupiter, and we are birthing new relationships. We are birthing a new understanding or a new path based upon our new understanding. We are birthing a new baby, you know, of prosperity and joy, you know, as that yod is pointing, that finger of God is pointing to 23 degrees of Jupiter in Sagittarius. Optimism, right? And excitement and travels. And I mean, that can be, you know, traveling light years within your own life walk, you know, where you have been delayed in the manifestations of, you know, what you thought your life would look like, you know, and yet out of what seemingly out of nowhere here, when we're flowing with the energies, you know, we suddenly birth that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes 9 months, you know, like, get this thing out of me. I know I've got value. I know I've got worth, you know, I know I've got riches just like hiding inside of me, and it's time to birth that, you know. So there goes that yod. And we're finally there where I think it wasn't quite as tight when I looked at it the other day, but I knew that it was approaching. And nothing else has really changed since I dissected the energies in this chart the other day. Venus being in Aquarius. I'm definitely going to look up that degree because it's at 23 degrees, and so is Mars, and so is Jupiter. And the North Node is going to move into 23 degrees pretty soon here. And so anyway, what helps us with our ego, what helps us to stay humble, is having this detachment of the outcomes, right? And also not doing it just for ourselves, but for the ultimate good of the collective. You know, whatever it is that we are seeking to, whatever guitar you want to play, you know what I'm saying? Whatever song it is that you want to play, you want to pull out the piano, you know, like anything that helps you to delve into your beauty and creativity, again, without the attachment to outcomes. You know, like, okay, if I write a song, you know, am I writing the song for my own self-healing, which ultimately probably something like that would come of it, but is the intention really to help heal the collective and heal the world through the sharing of your experience through this beautiful creative work, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and look that up here. 23 degrees of Aquarius. because I know I've never looked that up. I don't have any planets in Aquarius. I looked up 22 degrees before, though, apparently. A woman making lace. I read that last time. Ancient runes carved at random on gray rocks. I love that because it's so reminiscent of the talisman. Learning ultimate things the hard way. But why? You have to put yourself totally into every realm to experience it for yourself. You can't be reliant on others to walk your path for you or to lead you along the way and to give you all of the answers. With a zeal of empirical wisdom, okay? Empirical, the freaking emperor. Or the wild edge of the scientific method. Very Aquarian, right? Curiosity, right? The experimental test case is yourself. Figure it out, baby. Who are you really? Who's the new you that you're birthing? And you are out there all alone in vast, uncharted territory, just the way you like it. Don't feel lost. You're ready for this excitement. You're ready for something new. And it's okay to not know which direction you're going in yet. You've been granted, or to not know the details, let's put it that way. You've been granted the chance to prove things, to follow them out quite far, bearing a determined intelligence with karmically trained faculties of subtle perception, bearing a determined intelligence with karmically trained faculties of subtle perception. Open your eyes to those subtle, or your heart, I should say, to those subtle perceptions. And make sure that you are not being manipulated into the wrong direction by these energies, by this energy. Flip this right side up. We're dealing with the wounds of Aries. And the sun is about to, it's already conjunct, but it's about to be, at 1 degrees, like right on top of Chiron. However, objectively speaking, step back, look at the big picture. This is an intensely arduous and restless or relentless way to do it. Without safeguards or precedents, relying upon the moment's edge. If you can be tirelessly strong, doing it in this ruggedly will-proof, what? Sometimes there's typos in here. If you can be tirelessly strong, doing it this ruggedly will prove to be the only way to go if you wish to uncover future territories without imprinting bias or distortion upon it. Ooh, is that not exactly what the reading was talking about? You just have to invent the wheel in yet another dimension. In yet another dimension. Hey, I know it's Aries, Sun in Aries today, but we are still dealing with that Pisces energy. We are still, traveling through the astral realm, through time to find our authentic selves, to reinvent, right, the wheel in yet another dimension, that we might be projected into that abundance of the higher vibration of the true self. And with that being said, hey, I love it. And I'm truly grateful to the powers that be. Until next time, my friends, make sure that you do your ritual tonight, and just really set your, let me look something up here. It's definitely a time of celebration. I just want to go back to, it might be easier to go here instead. To what my full moon description is. Now, the last few days, we've been cultivating exercise patience, test out quality and validity, labor time, especially in cooperative team fashion, ask for help, delegation is good. So that's where we've been. And today, with the moon going into Libra, officially being full, work hard and play hard. Celebrate efforts with your team. Prime time to project new ideas into the future as enthusiasm, reason, creativity, and practicality are balanced. Passions are high, right? So make sure that you are being humble as you have these communications and conversations with people, as you don't get drunk and start fighting, over some words, because the energy is definitely there with Mars and Aries. I mean, Mars with Mars and Taurus, and that stubbornness, and with Mars, or I'm sorry, Uranus, in Taurus as well, is fucking radical. And then the Sun and Chiron being in Aries too. It's a lot of that Aries energy playing out. And this is the time for self-mastery, for confidence in oneself, to where you don't have to fight about who you are anymore. You don't have to assert yourself when you walk confidently in it. You know what I mean? And I would say aggressively, like, you can still assert and make boundaries, but you don't have to aggressively protect yourself about who you are and what your identity is and what you do and what your role is and what you believe, and all of these things, because it doesn't matter. I mean, it's all illusions anyway. And so it's all like digital projections, that we have manifested around us with our own minds, with our own with our own imaginations. And so it's time to imagine something better, and it's time to see yourself as something greater. And it's time to birth that newness of who you are. So until next time, my friends, Nanu Nanu, and peace be unto you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to share the video. If you would like a private reading, please make sure to go to my website. If you would like essential oils based upon your zodiac sign, special blends that I have made. And I can even custom make them based upon all three, your sun, moon, and rising, or just, if you know that you're dealing with, your thought patterns, I can make an oil based upon your Mercury sign. Do you know what sign your Mercury is in? It's really important to know for self-mastery. So yeah, hit up my website, rafahouse.com. Until next time.